born to be great. Oh my gosh, when I say too black, you say too strong. Too black. You were born to be great.
Let's get it, let's get it, let's get it, let's get it. Folk tales for grown folks. That's what we on right now. We folk telling. You know what I'm saying, family? Hey, so we just had a dynamic. I had two dynamic interviews this week. I want to apologize because I thought I was streaming, but somehow the stream fell off. I don't know what's going on, but it is what it is, and we're gonna make it pop regardless. You know how we do it, Gye-Nyame Journey. Shit happens. Real life here all the time, as we try to make sure that everybody knows it's real life here. So right now we're doing folk tales for grown folks. It's time for us to have our grown folk discussion around folk tales that was left here by our ancestors. Subtle lessons that you might pick up, might not pick out unless you are into having the conversations. And you here, Gye-Nyame, we into having the conversations. We want to push ourselves, we want to push our minds, we want to push our lives to a point we are able to formulate the right questions to ask life so that we can receive the proper answers. You know what I'm saying? We got to be able to ask the right questions. And I think in many ways we have not been equipped to ask the right questions. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, let's get to it and let's ask some questions. I'm gonna read the folk tale for the night. Let me make sure the line. I gotta go in and shut the line off because I forgot to shut it off from the last conversation. I'm gonna end this conference, and I am going to reopen the line for anybody that might want to join us. 614-556-4535. Black line is open, 614-556-4535. Right? So let's go on and let's get it. Let's go and have this conversation. Let's go and chop it up. Let's go and have a good time. So the folktale tonight is The Farmer and the Swans, and we see many different versions of this. So those of you that are on the 21-day Nguza Saba Challenge, if you have taken that on, of course, that a new handbook will be created. I'm in the process of creating that right now and get it out there to all of the supporters and anybody else that want to purchase it. It will be available, but of course, that will be provided free for all the supporters. And we got some other stuff. We got some other prizes coming for the supporters, because all those that are supporters of Gye-Nyame Journey will be receiving their own email address. I have, thanks to the discussion I had with Brother Dentista yesterday, I found out some of the services that he offers, because he has been in the realm of the cryptocurrencies, the computers and stuff for a while now. So he's going to be able to offer me some services and save us some money. You know what I'm saying? So Gye-Nyame Journey will be providing all of our members and all of our supporters with email addresses. We will be developing a new site, and it will be popping up soon. It's going to, of course, it's going to link you to all the stuff that we do. And as well as be able to offer a space where we can have some private stuff, some stuff that we could do prior to releasing it out to the public. Like that conversation with Brother John, I would love to be able to do stuff like that and send it through the channels first, and then have it uploaded maybe 2 days later on our public media. But like I said, that's a few things that's in the works. Some big things is about to happen for Gye-Nyame Journey Media, and we want to take advantage of it. One of them is that we're going to be changing locations, and I'm going to have to say bye to the great chair in the Black Cave. I'm going to miss it, but it's going to serve a higher purpose. It's going to serve a higher purpose, and so I'm investing it in all the energy from here because it's going to be going overseas. So and I'm proud that we're able to do something like that because this is a good chair, man. But hey, and I'm gonna miss it. I'm gonna miss you. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't gonna miss this stank ass apartment. Just letting y'all know right now. I'm not gonna miss this shit because these motherfuckers, boy. For somebody that's been here, we been here. I mean, Sasha's about 7 now. So we've been here since before Sasha started school. And they treating us like shit. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, man, are you serious? Are you serious? But that's life. That's the life we live here. It's real life at Gye-Nyame Journey. I got to speak it. But anyway, the lines are open. Let me make sure that y'all know where the black line is. And I know some people might be tired from the last discussion I had. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna run through this discussion real quick. So I'm gonna read the story. All right. The name of the story for tonight is The Farmer and the Cranes. The Farmer and the Cranes. Some farmers, some cranes made their feeding grounds on some plowland newly sown with wheat. For a long time, the farmer, brandishing an empty sling, chased them away by the terror he inspired. But when the birds found that the sling was only swung in the air, they ceased to take any notice of it and would not move. The farmer, on seeing this, charged his sling with stones and killed a great number. The remaining birds at once forsook his fields, crying to each other, "It is time for us to be off to Lilliput." For this man is no longer content to scare us, but begins to show us in earnest what he can do. Once again, some cranes made their feeding grounds on some plowland, newly sown with wheat. For a long time, the farmer, brandishing an empty sling, chased them away by the terror he inspired. But when the birds found that the sling was only swung in the air, they ceased to take any notice of it and would not move. The farmer, on seeing this, charged his sling with stones and killed a great number. The remaining birds at once forsook his fields, crying to each other, "It is time for us to be off to Lilliput." For this man was no longer content to scare us, but begins to show us in earnest what he can do. And the moral of the story is, if words suffice not, blows must follow. So let me take a step here that I forgot to take. We're going to go to Aesop Fables. That ain't the one I want. That's not the one I want. Aesop Fables. I gotta look up the story, cause the one because the one I like is the one where we got the translation. So let's go and look up the story. Aesop, the farmer, and the swans. No, is it swans? The farmer and the storks. This is the farmer and what is it? The farmer and some type of bird and the cranes. Here we go. Fables of Aesop. I got to remember that site. The farmer and the cranes. All right. So let me go on over here and let's do a quick switch to the news scene so that I can share it with y'all. We're gonna make this transition here. See how that transition look. Yeah. Oh man, it don't look like my software can handle that on the other side. That's whack. Okay, there you go. All right. Oh, that was whack. All right, but anyway, so as you see here, we got several different translations. We got morals and different stuff. So let's go and look at some of these real quick. Crane invaded a farm field. And cranes invaded a farmer's field. He could drive them off with empty sling for a while, but later he had to use rocks. That's when they learned and left. If words are not enough, actions must be taken. Then they got the story for the children. Here go one for the children. Certain cranes made farmers' newly sown field their home. The farmer, for a time, was able to drive them off with an empty sling. The cranes, however, soon learned that the sling was empty and would not hurt them, and so stayed. When the farmer next approached, seeing this, the farmer used stones in the sling and killed some of the cranes when they did not move. The remaining birds saw this and decided the prudent thing to do would be to leave, which they did. Then we got Aesop for children. It's a little bit longer. Moral: bluff and threatened words are of little value with rascals. Bluff is no proof that hard fists are lacking. Bluff is no proof that hard fists are lacking. And this is the version that we read right here. And the moral is that we already read the Townsend version. The moral is, if words suffice not, blows must follow. Then they go straight to, I think that's Latin. I'm not 100% sure. But the bottom line, and I mean, it's like I said, man, sometime it gets kind of spooky because this fits in with what's going on right now as far as us as people. I don't know, maybe it might fit with something in your life, but words in a lot of cases are not enough. And I like the first way they break it down. It says, if words, let me go on and, where you at, Digo? This is where you come out. Digo been giving me hell. It's like, so it pops up at the wrong time. Yeah, there you go. If words are not enough, actions must be taken. And when it comes to many of us in our lives, we have a lot of words. Like we just had 2 hours of words. Now, what I have to make happen is the action. In Gye-Nyame, we constantly talk about the concept of making it happen. Make it happen, make it happen, make it happen. You know what I'm saying? This is our mantra, make it happen. You know what I'm saying? I even had elders joke with me. They don't even be joking now. It's like, make it happen. I'm like, God damn. I should have never told them that damn story. But anyway, the whole concept. So we got a farmer that is talking to a group. We have somebody on their territory, on his territory, and he's talking to them, and he's trying to be nice. He's trying to scare them, right? He's trying to remove them from what's his. They have violated his space. They have violated his borders, and they are taking advantage. And not only are they taking advantage, they're destroying his future. So I want you to understand, because in these days, there was no backup support for a farmer. If a farmer was not able to protect his crop, it was a good chance that that farmer's family would die. So I want you to understand. So this farmer was trying to be earnest. This farmer was trying to be nice, and he was scaring them away. And once they realized that he was doing nothing but throwing threats, the first time the threats worked, second time the threats worked, third time they kind of worked. They didn't fly away quite as far. Fourth time it took him a little bit longer. He got almost up on them, and then they got him. The fifth time, they like, man, you just talking. Now, let's take it personally. You are the farmer. I mean, we can look at it from, of course, we look at it from many different angles, but in this case, you are a farmer. You're the farmer. The field is your life. And the cranes are the obstacles that's trying to eat up your future, trying to take your space and time, as we talk about on Gye-Nyame Journey. And you're constantly talking to these things, but the only thing that's going to really make them go away for good, make them go to an imaginary place, it don't matter as long as it's not your place, because they said they going to Lilliput. Right? I want y'all to think about that. Lilliput. You know what I'm saying? Lilliput was imaginary land that was used in where was Lilliput at? It's another story. It's a Western story where the term Lilliput is used. Lilliput. Was it Gulliver Travels? Well, anyway, they're flying off. It don't matter where they're going, but they're getting off his land. Right? They're getting off his life. They're getting off his future. They're getting out of his space. Oftentimes it takes action for us to get these obstacles up out of our life. Sometimes we could talk them off. But once they figure out that you just talking, then they're going to stick there. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and it's the same thing if we expand it to our families, if we expand it to our tribe. You know what I'm saying? It's only so long that you're going to be able to throw words at issues, words and opposition. Eventually, you're going to have to pick up the stones and put them in the slings. Right? And we see this, we see what's happening now because, like, if y'all check the timeline, I posted up an article now where Fox News is reporting on how the Democratic Party is now talking. They just talking about reparations. Of course, they're all leading towards the study on reparations. And it's because now we're talking. They're kind of scared right now, right? They're kind of scared. But we're going to have to show some action so that they know we're not playing, so they could get up off of this whole study thing. You know what I'm saying? Because this part of the issue for us. You know what I'm saying? They want to study our problems when we have more than enough data about our problems. But the only way that these birds are going to fly off our land, fly and do what we want them to do, is if we take action. Right? Because I'm telling y'all, 2023 is on its way. And many of us who thought that we would never see reparation, it is a very serious, very real possibility that we will see reparations within our lifetimes. Some of our elders may be able to see reparations within their lifetime. But it's all a matter of us taking action, being like that farmer, right? But then also we got to remember, because when we're looking at these stories, we got to look at it because we are all the characters. You know what I'm saying? Whose field are you in taking advantage of? Whose field are you stealing somebody's livelihood from? Whose grain are you eating? And when they come out and they yelling and stuff and you're not really paying attention, right? I mean, that's us in many ways too, right? So, family, I want you especially those of you that are on the 21-day Nguzo Saba Challenge, I want you to roll this proverb or this folktale around in your head. I want you to think about it. I want you to think about it. I want you to think with it. I want you to live with it for a little while. I want you to roll it around in your mind, right? And in your notes, because eventually everything is going to be digital, right? So let me just break it down. Like, for example, the action. Like I've been talking about, our process. So we got people going through the process, don't even know they're going through the process, which is cool. We got people that went through a process, don't even know that they went through the process, right? But in many ways, part of the processes is going to be on the digital, and part of it you're going to have to pick up on the shows. The Daily Toast, Folktales for Grown Folks, Tribal Quotes. Because we need to be able to roll around in these proverbs. We need to be able to use these stories and these folktales with our children to teach lessons, so that they get their lessons from our perspective and from our historical perspective, and from an Afrocentric perspective, or some people might want to be ADOS, but however you want to say it. But the children got to start getting it from our perspective. And we got to start ingraining this. Why? Because then we're going to be able to expand this little thing that we're doing with folk tales and proverbs to slides and lessons. And then we're going to be able to do the research that John is talking about and be able to indoctrinate, educate our children in the schools with the slides and the documentations, and pointing them to their history, and pointing them to the key points in our history, and pointing them to the key points in how we built America. Not just contributed, but built America. And then we have to go and burn this into their mind. And all that takes action. We got the cranes on the land right now. They eating up our future. Are you going to stand by? Or you going to pick up a rock with me? Let's go out here and knock the hell out these cranes, right? In all 5 realms. Intuitionally, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically. Somebody just called in. What's going on?
What's up now? This Shaka.
What's going on?
Nothing much. I didn't know what y'all were talking about. I saw y'all was on. Let me catch up.
Man, it's already over, man.
What you mean? It's only been 22 minutes.
Yeah, what you mean 22 minutes? It's been longer than 20. Man, I just did a whole show with John, and now I just did the whole proverb. So I'll read the story for you, and if you want to run through it, you got to start coming on time, man. How you late to a conference call?
You right.
Well, I mean, I was late too. I was late too, brother. I mean, because
I got so much exciting good news, though.
Well, go ahead, share.
Man, I just started Pharaoh's company, Pharaoh Tech. He's a fabricator now.
Uh-huh.
So one of the things I'm really excited about, and if you visit me on IG or Facebook, you'll see I'll put the little example up. But we got this polymer that he prints on, mm-hmm. that is ultraviolet sensitive. So he's got these chess pieces that look like pharaohs. Right? Mm-hmm. So the whole chess set is ancient Egypt. So you got Anubis as it's dope. Anyways, they're white, but when you put them in the sunlight, they turn fuchsia. They all change colors. And so, Pharaoh has been making unks and different products for people with this material. And he's,
is he using a digital printer?
He's using a 3D printer.
Yeah. I'm about to get one of those. Go ahead.
Listen. If you go out and you get a 3D printer, don't get anything else but the Creality Ender Pro 3. Now, I'll tell you why. Number one, once you get that, it's got the most decent plate size for what it is. I mean, you don't need more than 20 by 20 inches to print really anything that you're going to print on a 3D printer. But the piece is that the way that it is, you can 3D print all of your upgrades to that printer.
What do you mean?
So what I mean is that you can take a $200 printer and turn it into a $500 printer by printing the attachments that make it a $500 printer.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Stop playing.
It's dope. Now listen here. And so the next piece I'll tell you is that most of the 3D printers that people are getting uses a substance called filament.
Right.
All right. There is a newer and more efficient 3D printer that uses a liquid called resin. And the resin is stronger than the filament. All right. Not to be undone. But as soon as I started talking about how people were out here making receivers and, making firearms and things like that, Facebook starts showing me these ads for a carbon fiber 3D printer that costs about $4,000. It's not a 3D printer; it's a carbon fiber fabricator. So it's a lot going on in that realm, and I'm just super excited about Pharaoh's piece. Number two, over the past week, I actually made an investment in an entire music studio. So I got everything that I need to record all of my albums. And it's just, it's such an awesome time.
Sound like somebody had a payday, man. What's going on here?
Man, listen, I'm telling you, I've been putting the ideas out, right? And my RBG posts, I'm working on that project right now. Do I have to give you a refresher about the RBG post?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do it anyway. So basically, this is my way of creating sacred spaces in public places.
Oh, you told me. Yeah. Go ahead. The microgreens and go ahead.
Yeah, so they're living altars with very sacred information on it. That is art. It's going to have pictographs to be able to show certain principles in the works and whatnot. Really, and the microgreens and the herbs, the vegetables are growing out of these living altars. So they're called RBG posts because this is a space where you can relax, breathe, and graze. And it's there for your overall edification, your mind, body, soul. It's for the community. It's the major thing about the RBG post is that it changes a behavior in a community because it causes the community to take responsibility of these posts. So even the panhandler on the street is going to make sure ain't nobody pissing on the plants. You understand?
So how many you set up so far?
Right now, I'm working on the first two prototypes. All right, so I've designed them, and right now I'm just getting the materials to put them together, and then they have to. It's different phases. All right, so the first thing is that I got to wait until the laser cutter comes here before I can do that phase. But creating the actual structures and delegating certain works for the other contributing artists is really what needs to be going on right now. So between that and recording the songs and really just doing everything I can to stay on this until it's done. Like 100,000 Souls got to get recorded. Love Music got to get recorded. Man Down got to get recorded right now because there's a demand for it. So I have to meet that demand,
So, but I'm gonna call it a night because I gotta get up. But shouts out to Brother Shaka and things he's doing up there in Cleveland. If you in Cleveland, gonna reach out to the brother, and let's work. But yo, family, it is 10:03. And right now, Gye-Nyame Journey is out. Y'all take it easy.
Peace.
Said he's talking to the higher powers, I guess the government, about our reparations. And I guess the numbers that they come up with were about 3. His name is Saul, here in Ngozi, Northern Light Shopping Center. You want more than just a nice cut? Good conversation, good vibe, good music. Come see me at 3512 Cleveland.
Women, but the most important goddesses were black, not just for the African now, in the civilization of the Greeks. The Greek was so profoundly affected by the Africans that the goddess of chastity was a black woman, Artemis. The goddess of wisdom was a black woman, Minerva. The goddess of beauty was a black woman, Diana. And many of their great mythological figures which were critical to the vision of history, the history of the Greeks in the Odyssey, the woman who draws, who has the power to draw Odysseus and all his crew into her, is Circe, who is represented as a black woman with African features on the Greek vases. The woman who helps Jason win the Golden Fleece is a black woman, Medea. The woman who marries Perseus, the Greek hero.
The African Heritage Diet consists of 6 lessons. Lessons where we reach back to our African heritage to find culturally appropriate health and wellness practices that help us to move forward as a people that are whole in mind, body, and spirit. Lesson 1 is herbs and spices. Lesson 2 are greens. Greens is the widest part in the base of the African Heritage Diet food pyramid. So many greens should be consumed. And as you move up the pyramid, those are the things that you consume in lesser proportionate amounts. Whole grains. Lesson 3. Beans and rice. Lesson 4. Tubers and mashes. Lesson 5. Lesson 6. Fruits, vegetables, and a healthy lifestyle.
I am a genius. My ancestors were geniuses. My ancestors have made me a genius in all that I think, say, and do. I must declare myself a genius. I am a genius. Whenever I am myself, I practice my geniusness and do great things. All my thoughts, choices, and deeds must express my geniusness.
I am a genius. My decisions must always be in the best interest of myself, my family, my people, and my God. Only then will I and everyone I know that I am a genius.
I am a genius. At all times, my geniusness must reflect my culture. My geniusness must serve my God. My geniusness must make me be one in love and harmony with my family. My geniusness must protect my people. Yes, at all times I must demonstrate excellence because I am a genius.
What is a lion? What is a whale without his pod? What is a monkey without his troop? What is a wolf without his pack? The answer is very simple. They are the same thing that a human being is without a tribe. Pray.